I've said this before. The Constitution of the United States is not something that we can pick and choose from, especially when it comes to the Bill of Rights and the amendments to the Constitution. We don't get to say, we don't like that one, and that one's for those guys. We take it all, or we take none. And that's the problem we have today with the Second Amendment, and in some cases, the interpretation of the First Amendment. It's also the reason why we have a Supreme Court, by the way. But this video is specifically to talk about the Second Amendment is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. And when it gets to the Supreme Court, the right to keep and bear arms for the individual will be upheld. It will also force those states who have may issue concealed carry turn to shall issue concealed carry or have no carry at all. Correction, no permit at all. I hear anti-gunners frothing at the mouth, talking about, well, we can repeal the Second Amendment. And I just want to punch them in the face. What school did they go to? The Bill of Rights were put in the Constitution as a block, not individually, just and then as a block. They were voted on as a block in the Constitutional Convention, the first one. They were not put there to give citizens rights. They were there to enumerate those rights citizens already had that government shouldn't screw with. Government is prohibited from involving or prohibiting any of the original 10 Bill of Rights. Now, some will say, well, there are limits, blah, blah. Well, that's true, because you don't, just because there's a right doesn't mean your right can, as an individual, to hurt someone. But then that's where laws come in that say if you commit a crime, then you get punished. But the right doesn't go away. Now, the amendments number 11 through 27, we have 27 of them, most of those were put in the Constitution to clarify how government should work. That's the government at the federal level and the relationship of the federal government to the states. How elected officials would get voted in and so forth. Those were governmental operational amendments to the Constitution. There were 3 amendments, the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th, that probably should have been in the Bill of Rights, but we had to have a war for those 3 to get there. The 13th abolished slavery. Slavery should have been abolished at the beginning, but it wasn't, because if it had been, we would not have a country. That's how serious that issue was. But 13th Amendment did abolish slavery. The 14th Amendment, and Section 1, which is probably the most powerful amendment in the Constitution since the Bill of Rights, the 14th Amendment. And Section 1 says, no citizen shall be denied equal protection under the law. Period. That means not only are you not going to have slaves anymore, but you will never take away the citizenship rights from anyone for any reason. You will not create different types of citizens in this country. That is extremely powerful, and there are people who wish the Equal Protection Clause had never been instituted. But it was an amendment, and it was ratified by the Congress and all of the states. What anti-gunners need to understand is that the Second Amendment and the First Amendment and all the others in the Bill of Rights are equally important to the 13th, 14th, and 15th. You don't have weightings for these things. The Constitution prevents tyranny of the majority. So all you white supremacists, white nationalists, just take a chill pill. The Equal Protection Clause protects you too. Really, it does. It also means that anti-gunners, it doesn't matter how much you hate the fact that individual citizens can have guns in this country. It doesn't matter what other countries say about us. It doesn't matter, because you're never going to repeal any of the original Bill of Rights. That will never happen without a civil war in this country. So just take a chill pill and live with the fact that we're in a free country where each citizen has the right to be armed for self-defense and armed to protect the country and armed to protect themselves from the country if the country ever gets froggy enough. The country meaning a tyrannical government. And we have a president right now who, if it wasn't for the control of the Constitution against what the president can do, this country would be in deep, deep trouble. And you people out there who consider yourselves constitutionalists, or people who would support the Constitution, would be in serious trouble and would have to see this person as a threat to the country. And as a patriot, you would have to do what is necessary to protect yourself and the country from a tyrant, because that's what we would end up with. However, for those of you that hate the Second Amendment so much, hey, some of you even hate the 13th, 14th, and 15th and would like to bring back slavery, would like to take away the fact that you, as a certain type of person, a certain type of citizen, are of greater value than those others. You would like that to be the law of the land. Well, I'll tell you what. Go and talk to your elected representatives. Get a constitutional amendment put into the Senate and the House, and see if you can get 2/3 of the House and 2/3 of the Senate and then 2/3 of the states to ratify such a brain-dead idea. It will never happen. It will never happen. Not in your lifetime. So, I'm just saying. Our Constitution is here. Yes, it can be changed. It is extremely difficult by design. The Bill of Rights were put there as a block, and we're not going to take them away as a block without destroying the country. Think about that. And thanks for watching. Carry on.